So stop scrolling because this will shock you. Right now, the Trump administration has sent out notices to every single state, including New Jersey, that they are going to stop paying SNAP payments. Now look, they have billions of dollars at their behest to pay SNAP, but they're saying that they don't. So let's talk truth. SNAP is a lifeline for 42 million Americans, disproportionately children, to pay for food assistance for them. In my state, over 850,000 people rely on SNAP payments. Donald Trump is withholding the money because he wants to inflict maximum pain on Americans to hope it helps him politically. Well, this isn't about politics. This is about people. This is urgent. So please stand with me to make sure that Donald Trump releases the money to pay for children, for vulnerable people, for our neighbors to eat. Stop spreading lies about what you can't do and do what you must do. This is about who we are as a people and what we stand for.
At the end of the day, part of what Donald Trump and his administration are attempting to do is to create this perception that he has all the power and that ultimately sort of in some ways create a sense of hopelessness or helplessness in the American public. We've got to resist the temptation on that front. He is electorally unpopular. In fact, the most unpopular president at this juncture in his presidency than any modern president in the history of our country. So Democrats have got to continue to push, continue to fight back against the lawlessness, and I certainly, for one, will continue to do so.
Trump does not understand anything about humanity, people. He has no empathy. I don't know what he is, but he's an alien, and he wants to hurt this country. It's something deeply psychological in him. He wants to hurt people. He wants to hurt this country. He doesn't care. And what saddens me the most, upsets me the most, is that people follow him and they think and they kiss his ass and they look up to him. And I don't understand it. I don't understand the people in his cabinet, some of them, Rubio, how they can live with themselves.
The cry right now is massive. Oh, Trump wants to inflict maximum pains on the citizens of America. He has already promised us that he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and he's not doing it again, blah, 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 blah. People are so uncomfortable. And to be honest, it's these white guys that are mostly very uncomfortable. I see just few blacks in the mix, right? Trying to actually call out the thing, but not being so worried like those other people, right? Because this thing that he's about to do, maybe he feels, or he felt he was going to shake the black people or something. And it's appearing like the black people don't even give a damn. They don't care at this point. They're not even behaving as if they're in that country, right? I really need to study what strength it is. Did it come from the whole, segregation, slavery thing they've been through in the past, or what? Because black Americans are chilling. They are like calm. Do you know why they are calm? I believe you all are calm because you all have mastered the art of being able to manage any situation that comes your way. And there's one thing that I know about it. No matter how he frustrates you people to leave that country, he will end up leaving the country for you. It doesn't matter. I said it in my videos. This time around, it's to re-strategize. It takes nothing. The people who are crying right now are the people who they've provided everything for. And right now, they are taking back so much from them. Not from people that are in the black communities, who are in the HBCUs, underfunded schools and all of that. They've been used to it. Him saying he wants to inflict maximum pain on people. I don't think black Americans are really, it's going to be a tough one, but they will pull through. I don't know how, but black Americans will definitely pull through. Anyways, let's keep watching those videos. I'll be back.
If you are in the SNAP program, or you know anybody who's in the SNAP program, you are at a great risk. Donald Trump promised that he was going to give maximum pain if there was a government shutdown, which is within itself fucked up. Because regardless of the argument that they have, he should not be trying to punish the people who have no power for that negotiation. So SNAP benefits, 42 million people will run out of money in the next 2 weeks. The supplemental program, which is called SNAP, used to be called food stamps. Now people receive a card in which money is loaded and they use it to supplement their grocery budget. It's roughly $175 per person. So now the Department of Agriculture says that they will have no money to support that within the next 2 weeks. Some states are going to pay forward and expect the federal government to pay back. Other states are thinking about partial payments. But in general, the idea is that by November, people will not have access to this money in many, many states. Now, if you are in the SNAP program, you have to go to your state SNAP program website and find out what are the steps that you are taking. On the other hand, remember that the President of the United States, who is supposed to help us and protect us, promised maximum pain because he cannot fucking negotiate with the other party. The man who calls himself the art of the deal doesn't have the balls to sit in a room and negotiate with the Democratic Party. And because of that, 42 million people are at risk of not being able to buy groceries. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
All right, listen, I need you to hear me. There's a 5-alarm fire happening in this country, and Donald Trump is pouring gasoline on it. He just said that he wants to inflict maximum pain on the American people. And of course, his administration is going to go right along with that. Let that venomous phrase sink into your brain. Maximum pain. He does not give a single damn about who this hurts. Our own fucking president, a man who swore an oath to protect and serve the American citizens, is publicly relishing in the thought of our suffering. Us, our families, our friends and neighbors. He is salivating at the chaos. This isn't the old playbook. Any government program that isn't funded by September 30th, those employees won't be furloughed. They will be fired, flat out terminated, adding to the already 148,000 federal workers who have been fired or forced to resign since the beginning of this year. These aren't just numbers. They are families. These are people with mortgages, car payments, sky-high energy bills, expensive groceries, and many with kids in school. They are being thrown to the wolves so that Donald Trump can make a political point. His attitude is simple. We have a government shutdown, then we have one. He is shrugging his shoulders at the collapse of our basic services. The deadline is in 4 days. At midnight, September 30th, the clock runs out. There's no deal made, then we enter a shutdown October 1st. And in a twist of cruel irony, or is it, that is the exact day that the new tariffs that he imposed in the dead of night last night will slam into the economy. Tariffs on pharmaceutical drugs, imported trucks, furniture, and other goods. So picture this, because this is the future they are designing and a stark reality. A mother, a federal employee, gets a termination notice. She loses her health insurance. And on that very same day, she goes to the pharmacy to get her child's asthma medication. And the price has exploded, more than doubled, because of the new tariffs. She is left with no income, no insurance, and a bill that she cannot pay. This is not a government. This is a weapon aimed directly at the heart of American people. They're not trying to govern, they're trying to break us. So I have to ask you, America, and I ask this with every ounce of urgency that I have, what are we going to do about it? When are we going to do more than just march in the streets?
So Trump came out a few hours ago and said that Americans are going to suffer financially for at least 2 years while his tariff strategy takes place. Okay, which means millions of people are about to lose their jobs, they're about to lose their homes, they're going to lose everything they have, kids are going to be food insecure. We are looking at an economic tsunami. Okay, there's only one of two scenarios in which we can turn this around. One is Trump is lying about the tariffs. If he's lying and he backs down the tariffs, that could help. Okay, he lies every day, so that wouldn't be surprising. But if he's not lying and he keeps these tariffs in place, the only thing we can do is march in the streets and fight back. Call your local representatives. Do whatever you can. Show up at town halls, okay, and complain before he takes every single thing you have. Don't think he'll lose a minute of sleep over it. He's a sociopath. He doesn't feel your pain. He doesn't care about you. Believe me. Even if you're MAGA, he doesn't care about you. I know you think he does, but he doesn't. It's time now, guys, to take control. This is the only chance we're going to have, and we're running out of time.
So it's been about a week since the Taco Trump name dropped, right? Trump always chickens out Taco. And we have seen over the last week, AI images flood social media of Trump in a chicken suit, of a giant chicken in Trump suit, a chicken in the Oval Office, all kinds of things mocking and humiliating Donald Trump. And we know that this is absolutely getting under his skin. And we know that because when that reporter asked him about it, he said, "Don't you ever say what you just said again." It's eating away at him. It's pissing him off because the entire world is laughing at him. And it's been fun. But unfortunately, eventually, reality sets in. And as we sit here mocking this very fragile and stupid man, we also have to understand that we're about to bear the brunt of it, right? Because Donald Trump is not the kind of guy to laugh something off or to take anything in stride. No. When he feels humiliated, when people go after him, when people mock him and make fun of him, they end up being the ones who suffer, because Trump does have the power to make the rest of us suffer. And he's about to use that power to screw us all over just to prove a point that he doesn't always chicken out. So right now, the speculation among finance experts, by the way, is that Donald Trump is going to put tariffs in place and not lift them this time, just to prove that he doesn't always chicken out. And of course, if he does that, we're the ones who will literally and figuratively pay the price for it. Let me read you this. This is from Joaquin Clement of investment bank Panmure Liberum. We think that, unfortunately, as the so-called taco trade becomes more viral, it becomes more likely that Trump will stick to higher tariffs just to prove a point. And he's right. Now, this doesn't mean you should stop doing it. By all means, we need to keep it up. It's okay to mock him. It's okay to bully him because he is a bully. As Tim Walz said over the weekend, Democrats, we got to get a little meaner. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Taco is a great mock for Donald Trump. Let's keep it up. But let's also understand that, yeah, we're not going to escape this scot-free. And here's the worst part of it. We don't have to sit and wait. Okay? This is no longer, when this financial guy said this to Reuters, it was speculation. Like, he's going to put some tariffs on, he's going to leave them, because he's mad. Within hours of this statement coming out, Trump put more tariffs in place. A 50% tariff on all steel coming into the United States. Because, as he said at the time, like, we want those steel jobs here in America. That's what we're doing. So 50% tariff on steel, which is going to increase the price of your automobiles. It's going to increase the price of manufacturing pretty much across the board. And we're all going to pay higher prices because of that. And I do not think Trump will back down off of these because he's now afraid of chickening out. So we kind of laughed ourselves into more debt there. Again, that doesn't mean stop. I'm not telling you to stop. I'm telling you to keep going. But, just be aware, we're going to have to pay for it. But here's the thing that gets me, and let's kind of shift the whole thing here. Trump claims, among many other things, that the reason he's putting these tariffs in place is to bring manufacturing back to the United States. But in order to do that, he's putting the tariffs on which screw us, the consumers. Not the people that own the steel mills, not the people who are importing the steel. They pass the prices on to us. If you really wanted to bring manufacturing back into the United States, undoing decades of Republican and corporate Democrat policies, you don't stick it to the people, you stick it to the corporations that are shipping their manufacturing overseas. You take away their tax breaks. You take away their tax incentives. You take away their subsidies. You take away their write-offs. You take away all of their privileges that they get from shipping these jobs overseas. Because yes, the government does incentivize these companies to outsource their manufacturing. Wonderful book that explains partially how this worked, The Great American Job Scam. It is one of my most cited books in all the videos that I've done, The Great American Job Scam. Read it. And it's not just about the offshoring either. It's about, how cities and states give companies all these things. But it is a phenomenal book. Please, everybody read it. But if you want manufacturing to come back, you don't punish the consumers. You punish the companies. But you don't do it with tariffs. You take away all of the incentives they have to ship jobs overseas. But these are the people whose taxes you're cutting right now, re-incentivizing them to send the jobs elsewhere. So if we don't tackle that issue, we will never solve the problem of the manufacturing gap. But Republicans will never do it because they're the ones who put the
tanks. Doesn't want to declare war. He just wants to kill people. Play the clip.
Why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. They're going to be like dead. Okay?
This is cosplay. Right. But it's real.
Yeah.
And any other American president says and does stuff like this, it's impeachment. The most disheartening thing about all of this is it could all end if Republicans had a spine.
The current administration has vowed to, quote, exert maximum pain on the American people in the event of a government shutdown, Our budget runs out on September 30th, so we will go into a shutdown on October 1st if the legislative branch cannot do their jobs. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a government that's looking out for my best interest and representing me as a tax-paying constituent. So we know that this current administration, their priority is to give as much money from the taxpayers to the ultra-wealthy as is humanly possible in the shortest amount of time possible. And if you've been paying attention, you know that they're being hugely successful. The amount of money that has transferred from the lower and middle class of this country to the ultra-wealthy in the last 6 months alone is unprecedented. So really, I don't think that they actually need to go into a government shutdown. They've been hugely successful at this amazing grift that they've been doing all along. So why is this talk of like retribution and punishment of the American people and of our civil servants? Why is he threatening to fire them instead of furloughing them? I think it's because he's embarrassed and frustrated. And I think that we should spread this message as much as possible, because nothing hurts a malignant narcissist more than knowing that they are losing. And in spite of the fact that this administration controls the executive, the House, and the Senate, they still can't pass a budget. So Trump, with all of his bluster, who goes to Truth Social on a regular basis to talk about how he's the best and the greatest, and no one's ever done anything like this before, can't pass a budget. The arguably single and most important part of the job of our House and Senate. So I suggest the following. When you talk about the government shutdown, make sure that you say things like the failed Republican Senate, the failed Republican House, the failed executive leadership, or use words like frustrated. Why would someone who isn't frustrated talk about retribution, talk about firing people that we need to literally keep the wheels turning on our nation? Does that make sense to you? So this failed leader and this failed Senate and this failed House, even though they were handpicked by this malignant narcissist, they still can't get it together. And the fact that we have made it to less than 48 hours before the government literally shuts down is a testament to their failure and a testament to their absolute dedication to nothing other than the grift. So I hope you will join me in calling your representatives today and every day until either they pass a budget that represents you, okay? If they pass a budget and it ends up just being more of the same of like the garbage that was in that BBB bill, and it cuts subsidies and it destroys healthcare and it ruins research, like that does not represent you, you keep calling. But you let them know, especially if you are in a district that is represented by a Republican, that they have failed you and that Trump has failed them, and that you see them and you understand how this works and you know that it's their fault. This shutdown is on the Republicans, 1,000%.
And honestly, it's a spit in the face of every American that we have an actual convicted felon that feels aggrieved to the extent that he feels like he's owed hundreds of millions of dollars when people are literally dying under our watch. Recently, I just sent a letter, it looks like on October 22nd, to Kristi Noem. And one of the things that I laid out is that we have seen the most detainee deaths in ICE custody in a single year in decades, with 20 deaths in the last 9 months compared to 24 deaths in the past prior 4 years. Now, this week, we learned that an individual who went to the Dallas ICE field office for a routine visit, meaning that they were doing things the quote unquote right way, they were detained. They knew that this individual had diabetes and required insulin every 2 hours. Despite ICE having been told this, the individual was denied access to their medication for 8 days, resulting in hospitalization. There are some that say that we are making America great. But to me, it doesn't feel like greatness. It feels like grossness. That's right. And in fact, I want to ask a few questions, and it doesn't matter who answers them. Is it great or gross to go into people's houses and drag them out in the middle of the night?
Gross.
Is it great or gross to make people afraid to do something as simple as go to school?
Gross.
Is it great or gross to make hard-working people say, I am too scared to show up to my job?
Gross. Extremely gross.
We get the job done.
It's a hard line when you're an import, baby.
The reporter asked Donald Trump, are you declaring war against these cartels? Why not just ask for a declaration of war? President Donald Trump said, we're not going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. We just going to kill the people that bring drugs into our country. They going to be like dead. Like dead. What y'all think about this? Was President Donald Trump wrong for saying this? Do y'all feel like Trump is protecting America, or y'all feel like he going too far? Should he be allowed to use deadly force against the drug cartel, or should he do it the legal way? President Donald Trump feel like people are bringing large quantities of drugs over in the United States, which is going to cause Americans to die. And he feel like these actions that he's taking should be justified. So basically, President Donald Trump feel like it's already a war. That's why he's not declaring war. He's going to go ahead and take action against what they've already started. Y'all drop in the comments and tell me, what do y'all think about this? Is it rational, or is it too far?
A few hours ago and said that Americans are going to suffer financially for at least 2 years while his tariff strategy takes place. Okay, which means millions of people are about to lose their jobs, they're about to lose their homes, they're going to lose everything they have. Kids are going to be food insecure. We are looking at an economic tsunami. Okay, there's only one of two scenarios in which we can turn this around. One is Trump is lying about the tariffs. If he's lying and he backs down the tariffs, that could help. Okay, he lies every day, so that wouldn't be surprising. But if he's not lying and he keeps these tariffs in place, the only thing we can do is march in the streets and fight back. Call your local representatives. Do whatever you can. Show up at town halls, okay, and complain before he takes every single thing you have. Don't think he'll lose a minute of sleep over it. He's a sociopath. He doesn't feel your pain. He doesn't care about you. Believe me. Even if you're MAGA, he doesn't care about you. I know you think he does, but he doesn't. It's time now, guys, to take control. This is the only chance we're going to have, and we're running out of time. Donald Trump is preparing to declare martial law. This is the reason he's sending troops into Portland, Los Angeles, Chicago, Memphis, Baltimore, etc. He will continue doing this. Once he has these troops in place, he can declare martial law and freeze each one of these cities. This is how he's going to take
All right, Trumpers, come and get me. Let's get some of this expensive ass gas from Donald Trump, because here's the thing, with his new tariffs that's going into play, the whole world's about to be in a shit show, because look, we got 100% tariffs going in on pharmaceuticals, you got 100% tariffs going in on foreign vehicles, you got 100% tariffs going in on movies being made. It's continuing to be a shit show, and now gas here in Georgia is almost $2.90. In Georgia. This is the South. I guess thank you, Donald Trump, for doing this. Yeah, it goes to show how incompetent we are. I can't believe anybody voted for this man. I really cannot believe it. I mean, the tariffs, destroying this country. Should be more free trade. But no, you put an incompetent president in there who only cares about his fucking ego and doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. And I can't believe you people in America, you whack jobs, couldn't see that. So thanks for fucking us. Thanks for fucking America. Thank you.
Why are we paying more money for less groceries, less gas, less everything essentially? Donald Trump's trade war is serving us broke-ass leftovers. Trump announced that all trade discussions are off with Canada. That means right now that America officially has no trade policy with its neighbor, Canada. Our biggest trade partner. We done messed all that up. And understand, y'all, this ain't just Canada. It's China, it's South Korea, it's everybody. Trump has boxed America in. Trump walked us into a trade war, strutting around thinking he could bully countries like it's the 1950s. Now he can't walk America out of this trade war because he done wrote a check with his mouth that his ass can't cash. These countries want to trade, but the key is they want fair trade. Instead of negotiating, Trump thought racism and ignorance was the business plan. And now who's paying the price? You and me. We're paying more and getting less because the president wanted to cosplay as a mob boss, and now he's getting carried by all these countries. America, it's like Whoopi said, you in trouble, girl. I'm gotta give. Aren't you tired of paying more, walking out of the store with one bag of groceries for $80? Because at this point, Trump's trade war is taking money out of our pockets and food out of the mouths of your children children. Are you seeing it too? Are your groceries, gas, and bills higher and you're getting less? Drop it in the comments, because I want to know if this trade mess is hitting your household too.
The American people are suffering in the greatest healthcare crisis we've faced in decades. And what is Donald Trump focused on? Destroying the East Wing of the White House, which these two men built. It's another ego project for Donald Trump. He wants to feed his enormous ego and ignore the suffering of the American people. What a disgrace. Democrats are going to hold his feet to the fire.
Well, the Democrats were right again. Do you guys remember when we told these Trump supporters that if Trump put tariffs on everything, that American companies would jack their prices up? Well, that's exactly what happened with American beef. As soon as Trump put in the tariffs, American cattle farmers raised their prices 10 to 15%. And when we told Trump supporters that this is precisely what would happen, they said, well, that's okay. I'm okay with paying higher prices at the store, even though Trump's entire campaign promise was to lower prices. But I'm okay with paying higher prices as long as we're buying American, because that's the patriotic thing to do. Well, I guess it got a little bit too patriotic in here, huh? Because now Trump is importing beef from Argentina to undercut the prices of American farmers. Isn't it amazing how Trump has completely fucked over American farmers at every turn, and yet he has the audacity to sit in the White House and say, prices are way down. I saved the farmers. And that's because he's an idiot. But Trump supporters, listen up. Next time, listen to the smart people. You know, the people who don't like Trump, even he knows that. The smart people. Listen to us and you could have saved yourself some trouble. Anyway, Group 7, rest assured that we are always correct about everything. So I hope you guys have a classy Thursday, and I'll check in with you later. Love you guys.
Welcome back. I must say credit to, those people in the, videos and all of that, trying to say their minds. People are beginning to make so many observations. People are beginning to suggest, oh, let's overthrow him. But nobody's actually going, they're not making serious moves about it. So I feel sad for Americans, basically, because no matter what, indirectly or directly, it's still going to affect the Black Americans. But one thing I know about them is they will never give up. This also is a struggle. This also is a struggle. And all I urge you to do right now is be prayerful. See, the way God is going to even supply your needs at this time will marvel you. Probably they're doing all these things to see if these Black people could just run away and be like, oh, we're no longer staying in this country anymore. We are going out, we're running away, and we're not living nowhere. And living nowhere. We must stay and see to the end of it. So whatever he wants to do, he could do. But that's so wicked of him anyways. To say, I want to pay these people, I want to inflict so much pains on them, all because of what he went through in the past and all of that. That's not thoughtful. That's not thoughtful. But, well, anyways, we back here, we're just watching and we're like, what? What's happening to America right now? Right. But one thing is sure, Black Americans are safe, because each time I go, I want to go and see if they are even safe. Have they taken away their electricity? Have they taken away their source of livelihood? Even if they try it, Black people will survive. Right. They tried everything possible to make sure they push Black Americans to white farms and all of that, and take some kind of rubbish they wouldn't take on a normal day, which is not going to happen. We still stand on our truth. If other people will survive it, we will even survive it better, because we've been used to it. In fact, more severe times than even this. What other time could be harder than slavery? Anyways, whatever you think, let me see your thoughts in the comments, right? I'll be back on the next one. My name is Global Justice BJ. I'll see you on the next one. Kindly subscribe and share this video. Bye.